this team is not very good. But this was probably the most fun that I've had watching a Pacers team at all this year. This was the most fun that I've had. And that should be concerning. The most fun that I had was watching what on paper is supposed to be the worst team that you could possibly have. We had two guys in the starting lineup who play most of their time in the G League. And those two guys were really good tonight. I mean, Kiefer Sykes was in double figures and he was very good with the ball movement and stuff like that. And Dwayne Washington Jr. had a 20-point game. And Sabonis had a 30-something point game, but I really think our problem started when we tried to start running the offense through him. It slowed it down, and we weren't able to keep up with the Cavs. Miles was decent, but he just got into too much foul trouble. And Justin Holiday had a good three-point shooting game. He did what he's paid to do, and that's shoot spot-up threes and make them. Off the bench, I'll save Lance for last. Off the bench, Justin Anderson was decent. Torrey Craig was on defense. He was good. Who's the other person? Justin Anderson? One second. O'Shea Brissett was the other one. He was good. It was just normal O'Shea Brissett. Good defense, hustle, physical, scored 6 points. Just normal O'Shea Brissett stuff, and he was pretty good. And then Lance Stevenson, Banjo Lance, make him dance, Lance Stevenson. Had 6 points and 3 assists. And, with Lance, you got the on defense getting right up in opponents' grills, and when they're doing the elbow thing, leaning into the elbows so that hopefully they smack you across the face and you can do one of these and draw a foul and stuff like that. That's one of the things I love about Lance is on defense. He's physical, he's involved, he communicates, and he tries to draw fouls at any given moment because he wants to win. It's not because he's soft or because he wants to be annoying. It's because he's doing this to win. And sometimes he will actually take an actual hit, so you can't be soft and be actually willing to stick your face in front of someone's elbow going like this at you. And on offense, he had some trouble from three-point range, but other than that, he was making some good mid-range jump shots. And ball movement-wise, I think he was good. He had 3 assists, and he was good at moving the ball around, getting people involved in communicating and stuff like that. And also, with Lance, when you pass to an open teammate, you have them going like this in celebration before they even shoot the shot because they're wide open and they're shooting a shot, and he's just like, I love Lance Stevenson. Watching him today was one of the most entertaining players that I've seen since, I don't even know, probably since Miles Turner's 40-point game. And it's just, I missed him. I missed him a lot. I forgot how fun he was. For whatever reason, Rick had something against Lance because he didn't want to play him very much. But I think Lance did a pretty good job for the time he was given. And here's my suggestion. I know many people would say cut Kiefer Sykes and sign Lance Stevenson. No, because Kiefer Sykes is a good basketball player. What you do is you take Jeremy Lamb, you trade him for a second-round pick, you have a roster spot open, and Herb Simon, you're going to love this, sign Lance Stevenson to a veteran minimum because he'll take it for a year, a veteran minimum, very cheap, much cheaper than Jeremy Lamb's $10 million contract. Sign Lance Stevenson, give him Jeremy Lamb's minutes, and you're cooking up a beautiful concoction of fans buying tickets, basketball being entertaining again, us still losing games and getting a good pick, and Lance Stevenson being on the Pacers, which is beneficial for everyone. Figured it out. I figured it out. Beautiful. And Dwayne Washington Jr., I tried to warn y'all about him. I tried. I said, he's a good scorer. He's a guy who can score at all three levels. He can drive. He can hit mid range. He can shoot 3-pointers. He's a good player. Some people didn't believe me. He just dropped 20 scoring at all three levels in the paint, mid range, and on the perimeter. A lot from the perimeter. Just saying. I mean, I'm not, I'm not saying that he's maybe getting a full-time contract next year and might be a big piece in our rebuild, but it could happen. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but it's a possibility that Dwayne Washington Jr. just like becomes that guy that we need in the clutch. Just saying. But yeah, this was the most enjoyable time that I've had watching a Pacers game in forever, in a really, really long time. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Like, I start enjoying basketball again when someone from the 2018 team comes back and plays for the Pacers. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's because that style of team, the guys that were on it, were some of the most entertaining basketball players ever, and they could be entertaining and pests and all that stuff while still winning almost 50 basketball games. That's the team we need to try and build. Chris Duarte, get Jaden Ivey, sign Dwayne Washington Jr. full time. Keep Miles around. Definitely keep Miles Turner around, please. Keep Isaiah Jackson around. Keep Goga around. Maybe keep Kiefer Sykes around. He's a gritty guy, and oh my goodness, we've missed that style. We've missed that ever since T.J. McConnell got injured. Keep T.J. McConnell around. Draft some guys. Get some unsigned free agents. Build like how the Raptors built their championship team. It's filled with guys who were undrafted or second-round picks or just people that didn't have many expectations coming into the league, and then they played their hearts out once they got the chance, and then they won a championship against all odds, against the Golden State Warriors, against the dynasty. I don't care that there were injuries. The Celtics swept the Pacers that year, and we had tons of injuries, and nobody cared. So who cares if the Warriors had injuries then? Who cares? Who has the ring? The Warriors or the Raptors from 2019? The Raptors. That's what matters. So, saying that the Pacers should follow that model because it works because we're a small market. The guys would be cheap. The people here would love them. I mean, why do you think people here love Lance Stevenson? He's entertaining. He's tough. He's gritty. He embodies what would happen if you took a fan and put them in a player's body. That is what Lance Stevenson is. And that's why we love him so much. He's a character. And he can still be an effective basketball player. So I don't understand why he isn't signed to a full-time contract. Because it's not like he's just a character. He is a good basketball player who has character. That's what he is. Not just a character. So we need guys like that. Those are the type of guys that thrive with the Indiana Pacers. Reggie Miller was a character. He was a pest. He annoyed John Starks so much one time that he freaking headbutted him in the middle of a game. Reggie Miller was the most character-like character in the history of the Pacers. And he was one of the most, if not the most effective Pacer and the best Pacer of all time. Why aren't we getting more guys like that? That's what we need to do. Not this. Not whatever has been on the court these past few years. Ever since 2018, ever since Vic has been gone, it's been gone. It's left. We need to bring it back. That it factor. That entertainment. But I'm not saying just entertainment. Entertainment that can win games. good basketball players, ones that nobody else values, ones that we can get for cheap and can perform well. This is a great opportunity to try out those guys and see what they have. Dwayne Washington Jr., Kiefer Sykes, Lance Stevenson. Those three guys who've been very good tonight wouldn't have gotten their shot if it wasn't for these new rules. O'Shea Brissett. Last year, he wouldn't have gotten his shot. We wouldn't have known how great he was and is if it weren't for the injuries and we gave him a shot. We should do this more. With whether there's COVID or not, we should be signing these G League guys to 10-day contracts on a more regular basis to see what they have. There are plenty of teams that have Brad Wanamakers, guys that are terrible and everyone wants gone. So call up someone, put them on a 10-day contract. If they're better than that team's Brad Wanamaker, cut that guy, sign the guy on the 10-day contract. There's so many players that we miss out on because they're too old, they're too short, they're too fat, they're not fast enough, they're not whatever, They're too old. Chris Duarte. You've seen how good Chris Duarte is. They went to a small school, something like that. All those guys fall through the cracks. And they're good basketball players who can perform at this level. We should be doing stuff like this more. If we want to win. If we want to win. See you guys next time. As always, I'm not funny. And school's almost started back up. That's nice, yeah. Anxiety. Yeah. See you guys next time.
Just got unlucky on a few plays tonight. One of those plays, I thought he was standing still, but he just hit the shit out of that one guy, and the guy went flying. They blew the whistle, and they called it on him.